What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the StackSats Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. We save in Bitcoin. That's it. You buy Bitcoin, take self-custody, and chill. Okay? That's all you gotta do. And the system that's built around the US dollar that is set up to steal from you will all of a sudden make your purchasing power, make your wealth increase that's been stored in Bitcoin. What up, Matthew? Round of applause from the live studio audience for Matthew. Let's go. Chilling. Today we're going to talk about when you should sell your Bitcoin. Spoiler alert. Never. You do what you want. You do what you got to do. But I'm never selling. Diamond hands, baby. Diamond hands forever. Okay? Because when you sell it, you're selling it for melting ice cubes. That's right, Matthew. Never. Never. It's a trick question. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, exactly. Sell fiat into Bitcoin. So your wealth, your purchasing power increases over time. And man, these ETFs got approved. I haven't seen no God candle yet. But, you know, give it time. Give it time. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I think we're just getting started. What up, Betty? Spend and replace. Let's go. Spend and replace. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. That's cool. But like, why? Like, honestly, I don't know. I just want to keep stacking. You know, that's my only goal is to stack. Spend and replace. I see it, but I don't think there's enough vendors yet, like in day-to-day interactions to justify like spending it, right? And I would just to spend it. Spend dollars, dude. Spend dollars, save Bitcoin. Spending dollars, saving Bitcoin. I get it. We're trying to make it to where Bitcoin is the ultimate like vehicle you spend on, but yeah, to support. Yeah, exactly. Support people accepting it. I understand that. I understand that part. And that's why I roll around with a Lightning wallet, right? So in case anybody wants to support anybody wants to support people that support Lightning, I'm right there, right? I accept Bitcoin. But yeah, I get it. What we're trying to do here is focus on one aspect of Bitcoin, and the rest of the aspects of Bitcoin will naturally phase into people's lives, right? The idea to tend towards longer time preference, for example, right? But all of that gets started with the curiosity of what is this Bitcoin thing? And can I really save in it? Should I be saving in it? And the answer is yes, you should be saving in Bitcoin, right? And yes, if you want to spend and replace to support vendors that are trying to drag us into the future, then yeah, do that. That's why I roll around with Satoshis in a Lightning wallet in case I ever do come across one of those vendors. And I don't care what they're selling. I'm buying whatever they're selling, and I'm gonna dump my whole Lightning wallet on them. Even if it's if I end up buying 20 churros, if I end up buying 20 grilled corn with mayo, cheese, butter. What else? Chile. you know what I'm talking about. You know the kind of corn I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, it's totally. I get it. I get the spend and replace thesis, but we're focusing here in the show. We focus on the save your precious time, your precious asset, your precious value in Bitcoin, and the system that's set up to destroy that wealth will actually start working for you. Okay, let's jump into the beginning of the show, which we like to call Set Strength. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $46,597. Don't be scared. You don't have to spend $46,597 to get started. You can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, which is called a Satoshi. A Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. And today, at the current price of Bitcoin, you can buy 2,146 Satoshis for a single dollar. What a deal, right? Back in May when we started this show, you could buy 3,900 Satoshis for a single dollar. So inflation is a mother lover, right? So it's evidence that you need more of today's weaker dollars to buy the same amount of Bitcoin. Okay, because everything is going to zero against Bitcoin. All right, so let's say you're out and about, walking down the street, minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day you'll have not only good luck, but 21 Satoshis. For a single penny right now today, you can buy 21 Satoshis. When the price of Bitcoin hits $1 million, yes, I said when. I said when, yeah, what are you gonna do about it? When the price of Bitcoin hits $1 million, 1 Satoshi will be equal to 1 penny. And you'll look back on this show and be like, dang, I could have bought 21 Satoshis for a single penny. I could have bought 2,148 Satoshis for $1, right? That's what I'm saying, guys. Get the urgency today, right now, to stack as much as you possibly can without putting yourself in financial straits, of course. Not financial advice. I'm just saying that's what I've been doing. Selling everything I don't use. Selling everything I don't use, and even even on the bigger items that I'm selling on OfferUp, I'm even adding like an extra $25 fee if you want me to deliver this to your house, because I have a truck. So if anybody buys something from me, I charge them an extra $25 to deliver it to them at their house. So why not? Figure out a way. Figure out a system you can put together. And it could be getting a second job. It could be taking on a hobby that pays you. It could be delivering stuff. It could be Uber or whatever, right? Whatever you feel comfortable with. Today's a day. You should, like, this past whole 2 years should have been the time when you kind of just went all out and try to stack as much as possible, as much as you could, as much as you can, right? To get as much of this, as many sats as possible, because as many sats as you own, as much Bitcoin as you own, that's going to be your multiplier, right? That's going to be your multiplier for how soon you can stop working or quit your job or do whatever it is you want to do instead of the thing you're forced to do now to gain income, to just live a comfortable life. Okay, the more you save in Bitcoin, the easier life gets, right? And once you start to see that, once you realize that, then you understand that the real risk here is not going all in on Bitcoin. The risk here is not being in Bitcoin, right? All right, so I guess that's part of the Why We Stack segment, right? Let's jump into the Why We Stack segment, boys. Why we stack. All right, it's just the same stuff over and over again, right? Save in Bitcoin, because when you save in Bitcoin, it shields that wealth from the inflation monster. What the heck is the inflation monster? Well, as the money supply expands via more money printing or more debt issuance from banks, the supply of the monetary units increase. And when you increase the monetary units of something, you devalue the potency of each unit. So you devalue the purchasing power of each unit. So as the debt grows, I'll show you guys the debt, because we made it to $34 trillion. Whoa, what's going on? Let's go. There it is. It's having trouble loading because everybody's probably checking in on it. $34 trillion in debt, of course. And yeah, that's what it is. $34 trillion in debt. There's not enough money in existence to pay that back, right? So the interest on this debt keeps going up. We're at 34 trillion. It's going to keep going up forever. They're arguing. The politicians are arguing about whether or not to move up the spending limit and all this other stuff. They're going to move it up anyway. They have to, right? Or else the whole system collapses, and that's worse. So what they keep doing is they keep kicking the can down the road. And when every time they kick the can down the road, every single second of the day, the dollars you're holding in your bank, the dollars you're holding in your pocket, the dollars you buried in your backyard, the dollars you're having under your mattress are getting devalued. It's theft. It's the sneakiest, most efficient, most ingenious way of stealing from you is inflation. Because no matter where you hide it, it's still devaluing as you speak. So you're getting destroyed. You're getting robbed of your purchasing power, right? When you work, you trade your hours of life for a money that should represent that work, and you'll be able to trade that money for things that you want in life that you don't want to necessarily work for in that moment. Well, the longer you hold it, the less and less things you can buy. So you're getting kind of shafted on both sides, right? Your inflation is going up, and the value of things, the cost of things you want to buy to live your life and have the same lifestyle is going up, right? While at the same time, your salary is not going up at the same rate of inflation. So you're losing there, and you're losing on the price of things. And on top of that, you might think to yourself, well, at least I can save some of this in my bank account and save towards something, save towards a bike, save towards a motorcycle, save towards a car, save towards the down payment on my house, right? Well, the whole time you've been saving for whatever you've been saving for, and you've been saving it in your checking account or your savings account, that money has been losing purchasing power, and your goals have been getting gradually and consistently and just incessantly pushed away from you, right? Look at this clock. Look at this debt clock. As that debt clock goes up, that's your goals, your financial goals getting pushed away from you, right? And the only way you can beat that clock, the only way you can work, there's no way you can work hard enough, get educated enough. Whoa, let's go. 21 sats. Let's go for the win. The only way you can get ahead of this, it's not by working 2 jobs. It's not by working 3 jobs. It's not by working 3 jobs and an Uber on the side. You can't beat it. Okay. It's like trying to swim up a waterfall. Okay. The amount of money these people are pumping out, the amount of debt they're issuing, you can't beat it. And even though you might have gone through life and done all of the right things, right? Been a straight A student your whole life, graduated college, been an excellent member of society, can do no evil, did all the right things that you're supposed to do, got a great job, got a great education, got a great salary. It doesn't matter. As soon as you get that salary, that's the pin, right? As soon as you've negotiated your salary, you're already losing. You're already losing in potential gains and potential earnings, because as soon as you put a stamp on it, as soon as you put that on paper, then that becomes the pin on the chart that gets devalued, right? Because you've set a target, and now since the whole system is shifting under you, right? You become disillusioned, right? Have you guys ever heard the story? Have you guys ever heard a story similar to this, where like there's a guy who's like maybe a taxi driver or maybe an Uber guy or gal, and they tell you like, oh, you kind of do small talk with them, and then they tell you, oh yeah, in my country, maybe they're like immigrants, and maybe like, oh, in my country I used to be a doctor, right? I'm like, damn, what the hell are you doing here? If you're a doctor, why are you driving a freaking Uber in America, right? And it's like, well, because even though they went through and did all the hard work, got an education, and became a freaking doctor, the money in their country is worse than the money here in America. It's even more. It's losing value to inflation even more. It's getting inflated even more, right? It's getting devalued even more. So you take all that work, and it's hyperinflation, right? You do all that work to get ahead in life and to do the right thing, and in the end, you can't even make your student loans, right? So that's where the U.S. is heading towards, right? For us, it's a little bit less evident because it's happening a lot slower, right? It's happening slower than it happen in Argentina. It's happening slower than it happens in these other countries, because we're like the primary monetary, like the dominant currency is the dollar, right? But it doesn't mean that it's not happening here too. It's just happening a little bit slower, right? It's happening a little bit faster than it has been lately. That's why people are starting to notice it, right? But if you start living your life and tracking your expenses and analyzing things in terms of Bitcoin, like we do here every day, right? For that specific reason, so you guys understand that and start to get the idea, if you don't have it already, that when you price your lifestyle in Bitcoin, the price of things go down. And when you price your lifestyle in dollars, things end up costing more and more over time, right? Because the value, the purchasing power of that money keeps going down, right? Whereas if you took that same value, started in Bitcoin, then the purchasing power of that Bitcoin continues to go up, right? Because when you save in Bitcoin, at that point, now that waterfall, instead of swimming up the waterfall, that waterfall is like inverted, and now it's pushing you up. It's like you're getting pushed up river, right? Getting pushed down the river with the whole power of the money printer. Now it's working for you, right? It's pumping money, it's pumping value into your scarce asset that is Bitcoin. Okay, so we go back to the beginning of this whole episode to the title of the show is when to sell your Bitcoin, and the answer, of course, this is a long way to say it, is of course never, right? Because you have the scarcest thing you can own. There's all these people coming in, they're going to want to buy it off of you, and they're going to tempt you with as much money as they can muster, right? But don't do it. Continue to work your normal job, continue to do what you need to do, and it's going to get to a point where the value of your Bitcoin is so high that it won't matter. You could probably do whatever you want as far as work goes, or not work, right? So it's just you already went through all of the trials and tribulations of hodling through the worst part, which is the bear market, right? Especially if you started like I did in 2021 or so, right? I started buying Bitcoin at like 60 on the way down, 40, 50, 30, 30, 25, 15, 5. Guys, I DCA'd all the way down and all the way back up. Okay, and we're not all the way back up yet, but still, I'm DCAing. I don't care what everybody thinks. It's eventually going to keep going up because it's trending up. Okay, and if everything else stays the same in the system, as far as money printing is going to continue to happen, it doesn't matter if ETF or no ETF. And I know we got the ETF approved, but it doesn't matter even if there was no ETF. You're going to have the system is going to continue to do what it does, which is continue to print, and it doesn't matter if a Republican is in office or a Democrat is in office, right? All that stuff is just a distraction to distract you from going to work, producing something, so you get more money to stack more sats, okay? Don't worry about all the politics, okay? It doesn't matter. What's most important here is that your Satoshi stack keeps going up, okay? That's right. Hard HODL, it's a great name. You got to HODL harder. Stack harder. What up, Mr. Android? Let's go. Round of applause for everybody in the chat. Eddie, Hard HODL, Leonard, Mr. Android, and Andrew. What up, guys? Thanks for tuning in, guys. Smack that like button up, guys. Smack that like button. All right. So let's go back to this. Let's go back to this browser, guys. Today, oh man, Burrito's almost gonna go sub 15,000 sats. Oh, what is this? Oh no, Burrito's gonna go sub. I'll say Burrito already went sub 30,000 sats. Let's go. Milk has gone down almost to sub 15,000 sats, and bread is definitely below the 5-digit mark. So we're down at 9,670 sats for a loaf of bread, right? Even though the price in dollars has not changed here, guys, right? I went and bought milk actually yesterday, so let me add one in here on the 11th, and it cost me the same thing. I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna update this one real quick, guys. Okay, so here's Roman's Burrito Index, and we're just gonna put today's price 15,054. I bought this yesterday on the 10th. So just like that, look, it almost dropped 1,000 sats in price. Almost dropped 1,000 sats in price since the last time I bought milk. So it's happening before your eyes. Okay, I've only been tracking it since December, right? But since December, the price of goods that I buy day to day has gone down almost 40%, right? So I'm getting things for 40% cheaper. Okay, does that beat inflation? Hell yeah, it beats inflation, right? That's amazing, right? Can you imagine? You start tracking like your car payments in terms of satoshis, right? Your car payments will start shrinking over the span of Satoshis, right? Track your house payment in terms of Satoshis, right? Your house payment, your car payments are getting cheaper and cheaper because you're moving your value right into Bitcoin as soon as you can, and it's going to preserve the value against the deflating dollar, the inflating dollar. Okay, all right, against inflation. All right, so that said, let's get back on track with the regular schedule of the show, which is the next thing we're going to do is check out our holdings for the episode. Check out our holdings for the show, and that we do that in the Stack Recap. Woo! All right, getting the hang of this, guys. I'm getting the hang of this. All right, so there it is. All right, the last purchase we made was yesterday. We bought $20, and we've been tracking on a new sheet for the year of 2024. Our current 2024 stack is 500,000 Satoshis. Pretty good. And let's see, we spent $240 so far, and we're up about 250. We're up to 250. So about 4% gains on that. And even still, 4% over what? 10 days? 4% in 10 days. It's pretty good. Yeah, there's going to be times when it goes down, right? But right now, the asymmetric opportunity is here, right? It's a lot more likely for it to go up than it is for it to go down a significant amount, right? And we're putting aside money that we don't need immediately, right? We're putting aside money that's going into savings that we don't plan on spending for at least 4 years, okay? Now, it might happen that now that the ETF is approved, and as soon as this money starts to come into the market and these institutions start to buy up the Bitcoin they need to back up their ETFs, then we might get a shortcut as far as waiting out the halving. So maybe 4 years is bearish before it goes up to a significant amount. But anyway, let's keep on track. Selling or buying today. Let's see, the price of Bitcoin is 46,000. It's above our average buy price. So today we're only going to stack $20 worth of Bitcoin. All right. So that said, now that we know how much we're stacking, let's get into what we came to do today and every Monday through Friday. 12:30 Pacific Standard Time, 3:30 Eastern. It's time. Stack some sats. All right. As you guys know, I like to stack over at Swan Bitcoin. You can go check them out by typing in StackSatsShow.com/Swan. We'll give you our affiliate link. And if you go over there now, you can get $10 of free Bitcoin when you sign up. You're going to be too rich, Roman. You're going to have to delete all the vids. Dude, man, I was thinking about that the other day. And it's actually kind of scary. It's kind of scary because the little humble stack for the show can become significant one day, right? Like, we were talking about this a couple of days ago on the stream, saying like, okay, well, we're at 0.1 Bitcoin, right? 0.1 Bitcoin right now is like more than most people have, right? And in the long term, this little humble show could end up having like more value than companies that are existing today, right? So it's a pretty crazy concept. All right, let me do the preview of the screen so I can hit the buy button. It will definitely be millions, and people will know that's crazy, right? So yeah, I'll probably will delete the channel. It becomes a concern for sure. Select. There it goes. Boom. I'll say it. There it goes. Okay. All right, I got my screenshot. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to hit this buy button. All right. Cut the music. Shift over. Here we go. Buying $20 worth of Bitcoin to add to the StackSats show stack. Drum roll, please. And just like that. Bitcoin is being purchased. Bitcoin is being stacked. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to update the spreadsheet, guys, with today's buy. I don't think I want that Bitcoin that hat anymore. Yeah, dude. I know. I stopped wearing my Bitcoin hoodie. I stopped wearing my I still wear my Bitcoin hat, but I stopped wearing my Bitcoin hoodie because it's got a gigantic B. It's got a gigantic B for Bitcoin in the front, right? It's just huge. And I started thinking the other day, I was like, damn. All right, I gotta stop wearing this stuff. The average American has less than $100 in BTC. I believe it, Hard Huddle. I believe it. It's wild. It's crazy. Y'all, everybody in here is gonna be a millionaire. It's wild. Okay, let's update the spreadsheet. 1, 11, 24, 46, 4, 2, 5. That's so crazy. It's so crazy to think about that, dude. All right, the yield here is 0.0004264 9. Okay. Our Satoshi count goes up to 579,000 Satoshis. I'm gonna copy this so I can update the main spreadsheet with the whole amount of stack for the show, which I probably should stop showing now. Let's go over here. This is a dangerous stack right here. Danger zone, guys. Danger stack. Here. Whoa. Oh, I know what I did. There it goes. Danger zone stack right here. You're scaring me. You're scaring me, Maddie. All right. This show will be ending soon, guys. Don't worry. It'll be ending soon. Once we made it to the ETFs, I might even go to the halving. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go to the halving, but it does become a security concern. That's for sure. Okay, here we go. So you didn't start a new sheet for 2024? I did. So this is the sheet for the cumulative since we started the show. Okay. And we're currently at 11.5 million Satoshis for the show. But we also started tracking the buys on a separate sheet for only 2024. So we can have both perspectives. Okay. If you're new to the show and you're just starting out, you too could have 500,000 Satoshis by now if you started with us at the beginning of the year, right? We've stacked for 11, we stacked for 9 days so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're already up 3%, right? It means that in order to buy 579,000 Satoshis, it's gonna it cost us $260. If you were to buy the same amount of Satoshis today, it would cost you $268 weaker dollars for the same amount of Satoshis. Okay, once again, proving the thesis that, well, the reality really that the dollar continues to lose purchasing power. Okay, just like if I have a bottle of wine and I'm chilling at home and a couple friends come over, I can't go get a second bottle, fill it up with water, and then divide up the wine between the two bottles, and next thing you know, I have 2 bottles of wine. No. How much buzz factor are you going to get out of those 2 bottles of wine now that you split it in 2 and added water, right? You're diluting the purchasing power of the dollar. You're diluting the alcohol in your wine, the flavor, right? You want watered down wine? No. You want watered down money? Absolutely not, right? Especially when you're working for that money, right? Putting in hard work, getting skilled up to do some important jobs, and then next thing you know, you're getting your currency watered down like that. That ain't right. That ain't right. Okay. And before Bitcoin, we couldn't do anything about it, but now we can, right? As regular people, day to day, it's not too much to ask to save $20 a day, $10 a day, $100 a week. Maybe it's $100 a week is a lot. Maybe $50 a week, $100 a month, right? Figure out a way to make it happen, right? It's in your best interest, right? It's in your best interest. Pick an amount, pick a frequency, and start saving in Bitcoin. It doesn't matter what the price of Bitcoin is. The only thing that matters when you're getting started is that the amount of Satoshis that you hold in your soft custody wallet continues to go up. Yeah, some days you'll get 44,588 Satoshis for $20. Some days you'll only get 42,000. Some days you'll only get 43,000. What's important here is that this chart keeps filling out and you keep adding to your position. Okay? That's all that's important. You keep adding to your position, and the system that was set up to steal from you is now working for you. Like I said before, like the whole thesis of this whole episode is that when you save in Bitcoin, you flip the script on the money printers. You flip the script, and now all of a sudden you're holding an asset that's harder than money. That's the hardest money. It's harder than the dollar. It's harder than a stock market. It's harder than real estate. It's harder than gold, silver, whatever precious metal you can think of, right? All of those things that I just mentioned, you can make more of. You can issue more stocks. You can mine for more gold and expand the gold supply. You can mine for more silver. You can build more houses. But guess what? You cannot mine, build, create more Bitcoin. And you might say, well, people mine Bitcoin. Yeah, they do mine Bitcoin, but they're mining Bitcoin from an unreleased supply. The supply is still capped at 21 million. And the mining process is just a way to release unreleased coins. Okay? But the cap is set. 21 million. The hardest thing they can ever get. And you guys might not be familiar with the term hard, like hard money. I wasn't at first when I first heard it. I was like, what is that? Is that some weird thing? And it really means the difficulty of making more of that asset, right? How hard is it to make more dollars? Run the printers, baby. It's not hard, right? It's just a printer, okay? How hard is it to make more gold? Oh, it's a little harder. So you have to go and mine it and dig it up and find it and make it into something that you can, trade, right? So there's actually work involved, right? So it's harder to make gold than it is to print dollars. That's why gold it holds value longer than the dollar, right? But still, you can still expand the supply of gold when you mine for it, right? It's just a little bit more difficult than it is to print more money, to print more dollars, right? But the idea is the same. Okay. Now you go to Bitcoin. No matter what you do, unless you actually change the system, you convince 51% of all the miners of all the nodes to update their code and we fork it and it somehow changes the way everything works. No, nobody's gonna do that. It's against our interest to modify Bitcoin. It's against my interest to change the code, right? So it's nearly impossible to modify that 21 million Bitcoin cap. So ipso facto, that makes Bitcoin the hardest asset you could own, the hardest money ever created in existence. And so when you save in it, naturally, as more people start to figure it out and understand it, they will bring that value that they're also trying to preserve into the hardest money they can find. And once they find Bitcoin, that's the hardest money you can find. That's the hardest money that exists, right? If you're down at the individual level, to the corporate level, to the state level, it doesn't matter. If you're saving in dollars, you're losing value over time, you're losing purchasing power over time, and nobody likes that. So naturally, your own greed, your own self-preservation is gonna drive you towards the best asset, and that's Bitcoin, right? And when all those people figure it out, when all those institutions figure it out, when all those governments figure it out, when all those funds figure it out, they're gonna be coming over to pump your bag, and you front ran all these mother lovers. Okay, all of them. They weren't paying attention. Now they're paying attention, but it's too late. We're already in there, right? We're already in there. So, McLovin in the house. Round of applause for McLovin. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the StackSats show. Remember, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking, baby. Woo!